It's time to venture into the Filmverse, a movie fan podcast where we dive into the vast expanses of cinema and report our findings. I'm Mytchel Chandler.
And I'm Bryce Payne.
And today on the 14th episode of Into the Filmverse, we'll be discussing Forest Whitaker's Ghost Hog, Way of the Samurai, DreamWorks' The Road to El Dorado, and various content we watched throughout the week. If you want to see our reviews for the films we talk about today, or get our thoughts on other movies, be sure to join us on Letterboxd, the social network for film lovers. You can find my friend Bryce Payne at
Payne Reviews, P-A-Y-N-E Reviews.
And me, Mytchel Chandler, at Mytch Reviews, and Mytch is spelled with the Y, so that's M-Y-T-C-H. Before we dive into our weekly movie watches, we're going to go off the top with some recent movie news. As we usually do, today, which is Friday, it's actually the last episode of The Mandalorian, but we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 7 this week.
Yeah, I haven't seen the season finale yet, so I'm really excited.
Me too. I know it'll be something I'll be doing later today. But if you don't want to know spoilers for Season 2, Episode 7 of Mandalorian, please give yourself 5 minutes to skip ahead in the video starting right now.
I totally didn't hit start.
All right, Bryce. Well, sorry, no worries. What did you think of this episode?
Not as good as the last one. I was really disappointed, honestly. I know they built up so much from the last episode, and then it was just like, I was just like, this is it. Like this is the episode before the season finale. Really?
I don't know. I thought it was interesting, just because of it was slow at first, but then it hit that rock where he was fighting those pirates, which was a little weird. But then, and I think I liked it so much is because it felt uncomfortable.
Like I totally expected him to start using the Force.
What?
Yeah, because he was sitting on top of the thing with his arms outstretched at the pirates, and I was like, is he gonna use the fort? What the fuck?
Did you like this part where because he had to take his suit off to be able to infiltrate the camp, and how he put his arm up to block the pirate shot, and it hit his arm, and he's like, oh fuck, it hurt.
I didn't notice that.
Did you not?
I didn't notice.
Oh, it was
that.
so cool.
I completely forgot that he was in different armor.
Yeah.
So I was just like, yeah, he's invincible. He's the Mandalorian. I don't.
No, he put his arm up to block like he usually does. Good with the Beskar, and then they hit his arm and it shattered his gauntlet, and he's like, oh fuck, that hurt.
No, I didn't notice that. That's damn. I was seriously just like, all right, yeah, pirates, whatever. It's a Mandalorian. Nothing's gonna happen to him. And then you're like, yeah, he got damaged. I was like, did he?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it looked like he got rinsed because he wasn't in his armor. He wasn't in what he usually was protected as.
Uncomfortable.
But we should mention that this is the first episode of The Mandalorian for the whole series. We have not had a single moment of Baby Yoda or Grogu. What do you?
I'm okay with it. It was kind of nice to get a break, especially considering where he is right now.
I know that's an unpopular thing to say, but I agree with you.
It would just be really weird if they just cut away to Grogu just sitting in a fucking cell, just
handcuffs.
Yep, I'm here.
He's like, I'm still tired. That was
he's just sleeping for a whole episode. Everyone's like, oh, it's like, no, you guys need to stop. He's not the focal point of the show. He's important, but he's not it's called The Mandalorian.
It is, but I feel like you can't take out Grogu from the show though at this point.
Oh no. But it's okay to get a break, especially considering where we're at.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So I liked the part where Bill Burr's character, he faced the guy that made the decision for him, for basically the guy that
Operation Cinder.
Right, his PTSD and all that. That
here's
was cool.
The thing. I found out after I watched the episode that Operation Cinder, well, I played Battlefront 2, the Star Wars Battlefront 2, a new one.
Sure.
That's part of the main campaign is Operation Cinder.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
it's
cool.
referencing Operation Cinder, and people were like, dude, holy shit. And I was like, oh, what?
That's actually a pretty cool tie-in, honestly. It's cool to see that these filmmakers, sometimes they're just stupid.
They care so much about what actually happened.
These ones are actually cool because it's you don't need to know that, but if you have experienced those other things, it just adds so much more
it's
levels.
you know about it. You're like, oh yeah, it's the Empire. Of course they're gonna have something called Operation Cinder, and then it's like, holy shit,
we know about that.
I
exactly.
was involved in that.
But I like how it's just he's just fuck it, and he just shoots him, and then they have to shoot their way out of the place.
He's just like, sorry, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
The logic behind, so obviously Mando takes off his mask this episode.
Big thing, though I found it kind of weird because he did the same thing in episode 7 of last season.
Oh, is it the same episode too?
I'm pretty sure it was either episode 7 or episode 8, but I'm pretty sure it's episode 7.
The reason I like him taking off his helmet, it's not a huge deal, obviously. I mean, it is a huge deal for him, but not for me. But I like seeing his face just because it reminds me that he's not just a god.
He's not Anakin Skywalker over here. Ooh, it makes him more human. I agree.
Plus, I like seeing Pedro Pascal's face. His face is.
Yeah, I love Pedro Pascal.
I don't know why his face is just I like seeing him. That's why he's in the new Wonder Woman. But
okay, so this episode has him actually take off his helmet in front of people for the first time.
Right, he seemed
a lot of people.
Yeah,
it wasn't just a robot. He was just all right, here I go. Fuck.
Yeah, he seemed traumatized. Like, he seemed like I'm not comfortable in this situation.
But he has to do what he has to do because he loves his little buddy.
Right, exactly. He's like, I'm a dad now.
He's like, I need to get my dude. And then he talks to the commander. He's just straight up like, yep, yeah, that's me,
And I like that Bill Burr was like, I never saw your face.
Yeah, he's like, listen, we don't talk about it. And I was like, respect.
I was like, yep. I was like, I like this character. I could see him in more stuff now.
And then he like, my dad was watching this when we were watching it, and he was like, oh, does everything just blow up in one fucking shot now? And I was like, it's Star Wars, man. I don't know. Like,
oh, yeah. Everything blows up. Oh, yeah. With one shot, everything blows up.
Yeah.
Well, they
like,
did a good job of setting
what the
that
fuck
up.
is that? And I was like, well, the stuff's corrosive. Like, it makes sense.
Was it weird that Boba just got new ass armor?
I loved it, dude. I was like, clean.
Like, he just was like, I got some fresh paint.
He's like, he got his armor back, and he's like, you know what the first thing I'm going to do? Paint job. And everyone's just like, all right, Boba, yeah, you do your thing. He's sitting in the back of Slave One just like, yep,
One thing
important.
I want to mention about this episode, I'm so excited to see more of Cara Dune. I love her character, but that's just me.
I just hope the team gets more action next episode.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's got to be something going on.
You know what?
But
it's good. It's okay episode.
Exactly. Well, that will do it for us, guys, with our Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 7 spoiler discussion. Thanks for joining us as we talked about that. We also made, so in some other movie news, if you haven't heard, Disney had a investor meeting and had a major...
yeah, it was big.
Yeah.
It was big. We decided not to cover that on this podcast episode because it would have been like a 3-hour long episode and it would have been fucking insane.
Yeah, exactly. So instead we put a special episode of just covering all the Disney announcements up on our channel. So if you want to look at that, just go ahead and check that out.
Which is also us testing our equipment for the first time. So
exactly, yeah. We got some new equipment and hopefully it sounds a little bit better for you guys. We appreciate you.
We're still working on it, so
we're always trying to improve.
We're trying to get the wrinkles out.
Exactly. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better this time. And we just got done watching the Nobody trailer.
Holy
John Wick,
shit.
what?
I like it. I like it. It's like Saul from Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad.
Right.
And he's just like goes from this like weakling character. At least when I haven't finished Breaking Bad or anything. Don't kill me, guys. But
never watched it.
You never seen Breaking Bad?
No.
Dude, that's insane.
I know.
You've seen Game of Thrones, but you haven't seen Breaking Bad. Those are like the two flagship shows for like the last 10 years.
We could talk about Game of Thrones, but no, no. With the Nobody trailer, the reason it was almost like to the point where I'm like, okay, guys, this is almost too much of a ripoff of John Wick because it's made by the same. I think it's made and written by the same guys that did John Wick.
I just think it's funny because it's just like the most unassuming character, and then it's just like, oh yeah, he's a badass. It's like John Wick.
Hey, nobody. Exactly. It just feels like, and plus the way some of the shots were set up. I mean, because it is some. I think there's a lot of people that worked on John Wick that came here to do this one.
They're
so
like,
it feels very similar.
When are we gonna do John Wick 4? Like, you see about that?
You're
like we already did it, but we can't release it. So
all
we're
right.
gonna do something else. I don't know if they've actually made John Wick 4 yet. I doubt it.
I don't either. But
I know it's supposed to come out in like 2022.
Yeah, I'm sure they're working on it, but they probably were like, we want to work on something now, and they're like nobody.
I'm kind of over making John Wick movies right now. I want to do something else. So what are you gonna make? I'm gonna make John Wick.
Exactly. I'll just make John Wick again. But it looks kick-ass. Like, it looks like a lot of fun.
It was definitely like, because I've seen the first like 10 seconds of the trailer like multiple times over the last week, and I've just been like, whatever. Some loser getting punched in the face. Who cares? Like,
oh right.
And then it's just like we were watching it, and it was like, holy shit, there's more of this.
The thing for me is like I think it's just the action style of John Wick that I love so much.
Dude, it's because it's fast paced. It keeks you on your toes. It doesn't get boring.
It's
just
fast paced
like,
and brutal.
Shit, they don't hold anything back.
No, they don't. It's just like I'm constantly sitting here and I'm like, oh shit, that hurts.
You can just see like he like punches a window and you're just like,
bro,
damn.
There was a shot like it was probably like a 5-second shot where he's just punching a brick wall in the back of an alley, and I was like, dude, are you okay?
Yeah, it's still back when I was like, is he just like relieving stress? He's like, I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna be better. And then it's just like, yeah, I was a hitman for the mafia or something. It's like, oh, okay.
He's just in the back alley being like, I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
Vengeance
will be mine. Well, thank you guys for joining us with the most recent movie news.
Wait.
Oh, right. I forgot to put it on here.
Happened yesterday.
So not necessarily
Wednesday.
movie news, but we did want to cover it just because
it's just funny. I found it funny. Like as soon as it happened on Wednesday, I like messaged you at like 7 a.m. in the morning. I was like,
hey,
dude,
look at this.
Holy shit. Tom Cruise fucking went off on his crew on Mission Impossible 7.
Dude, and I was like, thought like, okay, what did he just like tell somebody off?
Shame on you. Pat hand.
No,
dude. He's like sitting there. He's like, you guys are fucking idiots. This is bullshit. We're creating jobs in our fucking place. This probably like fucking, what do they call it? Like, God, I keep forgetting the, God, our industry. He's like,
Oh,
our
yeah.
industry is shut down right now. We're creating thousands of jobs. If you fuck with me, you're fired. No questions. You're out. And I was like, shit.
Yeah, he was brutal.
All over people like breaking COVID rules on set.
Yeah,
He's just like, get the fuck out.
Exactly. They're just breaking COVID rules, and he was just like,
We're not getting this movie shut down. I'm not shutting down this movie.
He's like, I gotta go to bed with that at fucking night.
I gotta deal with the stress of people losing their jobs, people broke, people hungry, and you're over here fucking around.
So the message is, wear your fucking mask.
Otherwise, Tom Cruise is gonna come and beat you up.
I was like, yeah, if that doesn't strike fear in you, then I don't know what.
Dude,
will.
all I can think about is like, can you imagine being on a film set? You're just like, yeah, cool, I'm working on a movie, and like half the fucking people in the industry right now, and Tom Cruise comes out of this trailer just like sweating, fucking like bloodshot red eyes. He's like, all right, motherfuckers, we're doing this. Y'all, you gather up, bitches. We're done with this shit. I'm sick of this. We're not. You're just sitting there like, I'm an intern. I don't fucking know.
And get your coffee.
He's sitting there like one kid's sitting there like, I just did this for some extra credit. Fuck.
He's like, I don't know if I want to be in movies, anymore, Mr. Cruise.
You're kind of scary, dude.
If you're nothing without the mask, then you shouldn't have it at all. Like, wait, I don't think this is your movie, Mr. Cruise.
I just think it's cool how Tom Cruise went from like being like the lead star of the series to being able to be like, I'll fucking fire you. Like, this is my goddamn show. This is my set. I'll kick you the fuck out. And
I
I'm
mean,
like,
that's the thing, that you do what he wants. I mean, he's almost to the point where like he is
his own. Like,
I mean,
fucking industry.
if you're gonna
like,
if you're gonna work with Elon Musk to go to space and be the first one to go to space, I mean, you have elite.
You have some power. You're like sitting there. He's like, you're fired. You're like, dude, I'm the second lead. Like, I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out. We'll find someone else.
Yeah, you're as the studio. You're like, okay, who do I fire? Tom Cruise or the other dude that I can replace?
Who? What is it? Universal does Mission Impossible, right?
Yeah,
Dude,
I think he has a picture deal with Universal.
But can you picture like this crew like complaining to Universal or something, being like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah, that would be.
It's like, I just got there like 8 in the goddamn morning. He came out fucking like hungover, blood red eyes, just in there. He started fucking yelling at us. I just got there. I didn't do shit.
I mean, not that he was hungover. We're just theorizing, or we're just joking. But
I'm just thinking it's like a funnier picture. If
Yeah,
you picture
yeah,
him like
I
sitting there with
agree.
like his hair hanging down his face, blood red eyes, sweat dripping down him, just being like, I've dealt with this shit for fucking 4 weeks.
Exactly. Well, with the most recent movie news dissected and spun into dutiful discussion, we venture onto some of our weekly movie watches.
Mitchell,
Bryce?
I watched a lot this week,
You did get to watch a lot this
but
week.
I didn't watch much good things.
Hey, I mean, you watched a lot of The Fly.
I did watch a lot of The Fly, and that'll be my first thing. I watched all 5 of the Fly movies back to back.
Back to back.
So like, it took me 3 days because work and all that. I started with The Fly, then I did Curse of the Fly, Return of the Fly, Curse of the Fly, David Cronenberg's Fly, and The Fly 2.
I know you're a fan of David Cronenberg. How was his Fly?
5 stars.
Oh, wow.
The shit was disgusting. Jeff Goldblum's in it. It's fucking gross.
Is that the gif that you showed me of?
That is where his
Oh,
ears
yeah,
like
fuck
falling
that
off
shit.
his head.
That was disgusting.
Dude, it was fucking great though. Like, it's one of those movies that it's like you're like unnerved, but you're like so entrapped in what's happening.
Like, get me inside of that
But
movie.
yeah, I watched the original Fly. That was okay. I mean, it's a classic 1950s monster movie. You know, it
Sure.
is what it is. Costume was really cool, but it's just okay.
Okay, so take me through what I mean. Are all the Flies to the sort of same premise?
Kinda, yeah. So the first 3 are like a trilogy. It's like they're consecutive, even though the third one's kind of like weird and like its own little, like they made its own like version of the last 2 films mixed together to
Weird.
make its story. It's weird. But anyway, it's this scientist who who finds out how to make a teleporter,
Okay.
and he starts teleporting like things and messing with things, and he decides like, I'm gonna put myself through the teleporter, as a scientist does.
Oh. And there's a fly.
There's a fly in the teleporter,
Dude.
and what the teleporter does, because it's like a computer, it mixes his genes with the fly.
Like that SpongeBob and
When
Squidward
he's, like,
episode?
Yeah, because he turns into atoms basically in the teleporter, goes across, rematerializes with the head of a fly and an arm of a fly. Well, the fly gets the head of a man and an arm of a man.
No.
And so he's like telling his wife through like a typewriter, but like, yo, you need to find this fucking fly so I can like reverse this shit.
Is it
And,
still fly size?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All he has to go on is it's a fly with a white head.
That's creepy.
But here's the thing: they don't find it because
Well,
the
of course
movie
not.
the movie starts out with like them being turned like a crime scene because the dude got crushed in a presser, and like so he's dead. Like the guy who turned into the fly dies. So they go through this whole film of her just explaining how she killed him and why she's not a murderer.
Okay.
As one does.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, they find the white fly trapped in a spider web with a spider coming down on it. And he's like screaming, "Help me, help, help me, help me, help me." It's like, holy shit, that's fucking creepy.
I don't like that.
And then when the detective crushes the fly and the spider with a rock.
All right,
then. And the movie ends.
That sounds...
It was
practical.
okay. It is a 1950s film. I was like, it is what it is.
Help me, help me.
But the second one, The Return of the Fly, follows his son trying to follow in his dad's footsteps, trying to create this experiment. And
another fly.
I'm getting movies mixed up. Hold up. Yeah, so he has the experiment happen to him. He looks way worse. Like his fly is way more less well made than the other one. But it was more like a direct home kind of thing.
Sure.
Like a made for TV. I want to say made for TV because those are really shit. But it's a low grade sequel, and he ends it by getting turned back to normal, being like, "Oh, science is bad," kind of bullshit.
Science is bad.
The third one though pissed me the fuck off.
Okay.
It's called Curse of the Fly, and it has to do with the family dealing with the legacy of the grandfather who was the original Flyman.
Sure.
There is no Flyman in this movie.
So...
There's some genetic creatures they used to test on, but there's no Flyman. It's just the curse of the legacy or something. It's bullshit. I hated it. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that movie really because it was horrible.
Okay.
It was a 2.5 star movie. It was not good.
Okay.
Cronenberg's Fly though, holy fucking shit.
Well, Cronenberg, from what you is body horror, so.
But after watching Crash.
Oh right, yeah.
My standards were all right, this could either be really, really good or this could be really, really fucking bad. But no, this is good. It's Jeff Goldblum's character gets mutated with the fly, as in the other fly, and basically just slowly starts losing his shit and turning more into a fly creature where he can walk on walls and shit, and his skin starts molting and his body parts start falling off, and he puts him in his bed in his bathroom mirror and been the museum of whatever his name was. It's fucking up. He's his ear falls off. He's like, oh, puts it in the ear. Teeth start falling out. He's like, as they do.
As they do?
And the girl has sex with him before she realizes he's turning into it, and she gets pregnant, and there's a scene where she gives birth to a larva.
Dude, get out of here. I don't want No. I swear to God, if you ever make me watch this, I'd rather watch Cats again.
Okay, but this is really cool, though, because he, at one point, his skin breaks. And the fly comes out of the skin like it's emerging. And that fucking creature is dope. And he tries to grab the girl, drag her to the teleporter to become one with his girlfriend and their child. Okay, well, I will be having nightmares just for hearing about it. I do not know how you're sane after watching that. Because it was great. No, I know. I'm just saying that. It just sounds scary. The Fly 2 was a really shit sequel. It wasn't made by Cronenberg. It was just the son got born. He has the same disease, and they're waiting for it to emerge. Look, he's psycho. It's whatever. That's a Cronenberg movie I'd like to check out. I mean, I know I'm just exaggerating a little bit about my scariness. It's so good, though. I was like, holy shit. Holy moly. But yeah, I watched the Scream Factory 5 Blu-ray set because I found that for $40, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to watch The Fly. The Fly. And that's a big thing I watched. I know you watched Whiplash again. Oh, yeah. So last week we talked about Whiplash with J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller. I was into it so much that I was like, all right, I need to check this out again. And I did. And then I bought it on 4K after I watched it just free on I think it was Sling TV. They had it for free with ads. So I watched it for free with ads. And I was like, yes, this is an amazing movie. And I bumped it up to a 5-star movie. Yeah, you didn't update your Filmverse ranking on Letterboxd. Okay, yeah, I definitely need to update that. Did. I was just like, wonder where he has Whiplash on. I was like, oh, he hasn't done that yet. But then I need to... Ow, excuse me. But then I need to, update that, and then... Yeah, I bought it on 4K, and I'll probably be watching it again here, but I won't talk about it too much, because we already talked about it last week. But... You're like, this is a lot to talk about Whiplash. Every other week, you're like, I watched Whiplash again. Do you know what Whiplash is? Hey, it's one of those things, is I don't watch, a lot of films I don't find, they don't blow me away like that, and it's one of those things where I just feel the need to watch it again. I know it's super good. And then I was like, that's the sort of same thing with, the Avengers movies. A lot of Marvel movies, I'll go see once or twice in the theater. And it's been a while since a movie has enraptured me like that, where I just want to watch it again, immediately. Oh, I don't go see Marvel movies twice, unless it's I see it once with Jada, and then I watch it again with my sister, if I'm feeling up to it. But the reason I'll get to that point is because I've watched it once
for the first time, just enjoy it and just experience it without any. And then the second time I watch it is to actually like trying to see if it holds up to my expectations.
That's fair. Because like the first time you're like, Marvel, and the second time you're like, all right. Do I really like this?
Exactly.
Or is this just because it's Marvel?
Was I just hyped? Was I just hyped in the first time?
Captain Marvel.
Right, exactly, and that's the thing. Or another thing that I go is Suicide Squad, the one that came out with the.
Yeah, I noticed you saw that like fucking 5 times in theaters.
Yeah, no, I did, and I really liked it the first time I saw it, but every subsequent viewing, it just got worse and worse.
I feel that. Like, I keep wanting to watch it because I'm like, I really like parts of this, but I don't like the whole.
Exactly. But yeah, that's definitely why I wanted to watch it again, and I'll probably watch it again sometime soon-ish. I don't know when I'll get a chance, but
you know what happened this week, Mytchel? You ready for this?
What happened this week?
So unlike last week, Criterion released a new addition to their collection. Not re-release like they did last week with Machete and the other one, I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Symbio, whatever the fuck it's really long. But anyway, they released a new movie which is by the director of Birdman.
Okay.
And The Revenant. And it is called Amores Perros.
Amores Perros.
Which roughly translates to loving dog.
Okay.
But it was released in English, like in the English speaking countries, under Amores Perros, and it can roughly translate in English to love is a bitch.
Oh my god. Okay, so Perros, I thought I was dog. I knew that was in Spanish, but I guess bitch, dog, Spanish, the same thing. And I knew amor is love. So yeah, love is a bitch. I see that.
But this is a fucking. I watched this Wednesday morning, and this is a fucking insane movie. It's a day in a life. It's another life film that I liked.
See, that's my thing is like you can find like day in a life films that are good. It's weird because sometimes you get Friday where it's just them sitting on a porch for
you're like, this is so funny. I'm like, I need to be high or something. Like,
well, see, my humor is just across the board, and I know yours is very selective. So
I am. This is actually a day in the life film, but it follows 3 characters, so it has 3 stories in the film.
Normally, it sounds like I wouldn't like something like that.
Right. Okay.
I say normally.
I was the same way though, because like the first story is so fucking good. It follows this brother who is in love with his brother's wife.
Okay.
And he starts like trying to like get with her.
Wow.
So he takes the family dog and takes it dog fighting, and starts making money off dog fights.
That's how you get your brother's wife, is taking your dog on
and
dog
giving
fights.
her money from
advice.
the fights to run away with him.
Okay.
Okay, but the thing is, a lot of shit goes down.
A lot of shit.
He ends up killing this one dude's dogs like 15 fucking times in a row.
Oh, the dude keeps bringing different dogs.
Yeah, because there's this like the bad guy, quote unquote, and he brought dogs to these dog fights, and the guys like Rottweiler would just kill him.
Oh, for some reason I thought you were saying he was killing the same dog 15 times in a row, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm so confused.
No, he just
Frankenweenie?
He just kept bringing new dogs and just getting killed and betting more money each round, so the guy was just getting more money, and the guy was getting his dog killed.
Okay.
And what ended up happening is they did one last fight for $40,000.
Oh shit.
And the guy was losing, so he shot the dog.
Yeah, you fucked up.
So the guy gets his dog, goes to the car, and like trying to like, it's like fuck this, and goes in and stabs the bad guy. And goes back to his car and drives away. The bad guy's henchmen chase him down in his truck. This is where the event happens. The crash.
Okay.
This car crash affects 3 different people. The guy with the dog fights, a woman who's having an affair with a married man, and a homeless vagrant.
You know, honestly, I mean, that sounds interesting because you got the fact that there's like 3 different characters, and it's one of those things where what your choices can affect more different people than you'd even realize.
And each story has to do with dogs.
Okay.
That's the loyalty. Another thing is it's like very unalloying of loyalty because dogs are loyal, people are not.
That makes sense.
So, the woman who's in the car crash.
Sorry.
The woman who gets in the car crash, she was a supermodel. The guy left his wife to go be with her. She gets in the car crash. Car crash puts her in a wheelchair. Now, he bought her a new apartment on that, but the floorboard broke. Like, because it's a cheap apartment, he didn't have time to fix it, apparently. Her dog goes underneath the floorboard, and they can't get it out. So she's stuck at home, hearing her dog whine underneath the floors, and can't get him. And she starts, like, fucking losing it, because she's under home confinement.
Right.
She can't get her dog. There's rats coming out from underneath the floorboard.
So they just leave her by herself?
Yeah, he just went. He's just like, I'll be back at 2. Bye, and like goes to work.
At 2. Okay.
But yeah, so she's stuck in this apartment by herself, hearing her dog whine. Starts going. And what ends up happening is she tries to get the dog herself. So she falls on the floor and passes out because of the pain. You know, she's got a fucked up leg.
Yeah.
She ends up getting gangrene in this leg.
Wow.
So you know what they do to the supermodel? Amputate her leg. You know what that does to a supermodel?
Right. Fucks her up.
Over. And the ending of this story has the guy getting the dog, tearing up the floors to get this dog out.
He murders the dog?
No. He calls his like ex-wife just to hear the sound of her voice. So kind of being like, the only reason he loved the supermodel is because she was a supermodel, but now she's not.
Oh my god.
And the last shot is her in a wheelchair looking out at this billboard that they had outside their apartment that was her.
Of her, yeah.
But it was gone.
Wow.
So they took her billboard down and she stared at that as she was crying and he hugged her from behind. That's the end of their story.
And the third story.
All because of the car crash. Third story follows the homeless vagrant with like 8 dogs.
Okay.
And the Rottweiler, remember the one that got shot?
Yeah.
At the car crash? Guess who got that Rottweiler?
I'm guessing the vagrant.
The vagrant. And he healed this Rottweiler up. Now, important to remember, he has 8 dogs. This dog is a dog fighter.
Yeah. Rottweiler kills everyone?
He kills all the dogs.
Yep.
When the guy's not there.
Oh my god.
But here's another thing. The guy's a hitman.
What, the vagrant is a hitman?
The vagrant is a hitman.
So what, does somebody kill his dog and he becomes John Wick?
No, his dogs die and he realizes the Rottweiler couldn't help it. He was how it was bred, so he doesn't like take it out on the dog. He just gets really upset. But he doesn't like beat the dog or anything like, you stupid bitch. It's just like, you don't kill other dogs. And he like yells at him. But then he takes this job to kill his brother for his other brother. Not the same brothers from the first story. There's a lot of brothers in this film.
A lot of brothers.
But
loyalty.
So he gets paid to do this for $150,000.
Sure. Not that much money if we kill people, but okay. What?
How much is your life worth? No.
Not much. Probably $150,000.
He ends up not killing them because he realizes with the dogs and everything how life is. He realizes
he's like, yeah, dogs. I understand life now.
Well,
$150,000? Don't think so. Yeah, those are rookie numbers. I was like, try like 500,000. We might talk.
He has an estranged daughter who he's like, I'm gonna go try to be a father again.
Sure.
And so he locks the 2 brothers in a room.
Like
he kidnaps both of them, locks them in a room. He has them tied up, ungags their mouths, and then throws a gun in the middle of the room within both of their reach and goes, figure it out yourself, and leaves.
Yeah, that's a way to do it.
And then goes to his daughter's house, breaks in.
Oh, well, that's not a way to do it.
Leaves her a ton of money because she's not home.
Dirty money that she's probably going to die for since he left those 2 guys in a room. But okay.
Leaves her a voicemail on her voicemail machine about how much he misses her, loves her, and how he'll come back when he's going to be a better man.
Just imagine that if you're just like, you haven't seen your dad in forever. You come home, and there's just a stack of fat cash on your just on your counter. And your dad's like, I'm so sorry I haven't
been here for you.
But here's like so much money and we need to talk. And she's like, what the fuck? I don't want this fucking money. Where did it come from?
And then it ends up the dude that was trying to get with the brother's sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she flat out was like, no, man, I'm good. You're fucked up.
Well, where did I think that story was going in the first place?
He tries to hit on her because his brother ends up getting killed in a robbery. So he tries hitting on her at his funeral.
Oh yeah, he fucked up. He's in the friend zone for sure. He's simping too hard, dude.
Dude, it was bad because he was doing hard for this bitch. He was killing lots of dogs for this woman.
If there was a definition of simp, he'd be under it.
Oh yeah, and I mean it's one of those films that when you're watching it, you're just like, holy fucking shit, this is good.
Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty cool. I mean throughout all different stories,
it's 2.5 hours long, and it's like, Jesus Christ. Like,
I mean that's not too bad for 3 different stories.
Okay, but the first story alone takes up an hour.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not too bad for all. Well, because that's this groundwork to the rest of these stories, so it's not too bad.
And that's why I was like, I was really into the first story, but then when it ended, I was like, I don't give a fuck about any of this. Like, go back to that. Go back to the dog fighting. Like that was way more interesting than this. And then I would slowly get hooked into these other stories and be like, ooh, what are they gonna do now? Ooh.
When was this made? Like, was it an older?
2000.
Okay, that's not bad.
Because it is by the guy who did Revenant, Birdman.
Right.
But he has a trilogy called the Trilogy of Death. This is the first entry. The second entry is called 21 Grams, which I don't own, but I'm going to own. And then the third entry was nominated for Best Picture in 2004.
Oh, wow.
And it is called Babel. Babel. And here's a crazy thing about this movie. You ever played The Last of Us?
Wait, what was it again?
Have you ever played The Last of Us?
Yeah.
You know the music in The Last of Us? How good it is?
Yeah.
Guess who did the music for Amores Perros?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the same guy that did The Last of Us?
Yeah, you ready for how fucking crazy this is?
Huh.
My wife.
Okay.
We're sitting there watching it, and she goes, yeah, this sounds like Gustavo Oh, I can't pronounce his name. It's like, she like name dropped the fucking dude who made the soundtrack for Last of Us. I was like, there's no fucking way you know who the composer is. Like, who the fuck just sits there and listens to a movie? It's like, oh yeah, that's the one.
That's the composer.
Like, actors I get, directors I get, whatever, but a composer? Like, I don't know any fucking composers other than like Hans
Jada,
Zimmer.
That's some nerd shit.
And then she goes, yeah, it is. And I looked it up on Letterboxd, and holy fucking shit, I was like, how the fuck?
I love how I just said that was some nerd shit, and I'm sitting over here talking about movies.
Okay, but the thing is, like, do you know composers, Mytchel? Can you name drop a composer other than Hans Zimmer?
Who's it?
While watching
Frank
a movie?
Sinatra? No, well, no, probably not. Who's the guy that did? He's not a composer. Who's the guy that did Star Wars? I'm stupid.
I don't fucking remember. Hans Zimmer? No.
No. It's like
starts with John something. God,
wow.
I know he won.
I'm so mad. I should know this.
I should know this too, but I don't care enough.
I know. But
no, dude, yeah, I was just sitting there, I was like, holy fucking shit. And she's like, did I get it? I was like, you bitch, yeah, how the fuck?
Are you planning on watching the other entries?
I am,
Or
because first off, I'm trying to get through on nominated Best Pictures, and Babel got nominated for Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to watch that. But this is the only one I think, other than, I think 21 Grams is Spanish, but this is Babel is English, I think. And another crazy thing, Amores Perros was nominated for Best Foreign Language Film at the Oscars in 2000.
That's awesome.
It lost to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Oh, well, yeah, that makes sense.
I haven't seen that one either, but now I'm like, well, it must be fucking good.
But it must be good. John Williams, composer of Star Wars.
Yeah, figures.
But,
I mean, yeah, no, dude, that was definitely a good pick, because I had never, heard about it, and then it was just like, Criterion released it. I was like, yeah, I'll go pick it up. But here's the thing, you can watch this for free on
YouTube?
Amazon.
Oh, really? Hey, well, hey, actually gives me a reason to check it out, because then I actually get a chance. I could probably do that now.
I was looking it up on Amazon to look at the price, how much the fucking Blu-ray would cost for Criterion, and it was free. On Amazon. And I was like, well, I'm gonna fucking buy it anyway, so whatever. Fuck you.
It's funny. Well, that is awesome. With our thoughts on the various content we watched throughout the week, spiraling into the Filmverse, let's move on to our Monday movie night film. Each week, we spend Monday night hanging with friends and typically watching an Oscar Best Picture winner. However, on every third week, we let someone choose a movie to watch, and this week, our beloved host, Bryce Payne,
gang,
got to pick a movie, and he chose Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai, starring Forrest Whitaker. Bryce, do you want to take us down a trip of what this movie is, and
all right,
what your thoughts on it? Just
I think we talked about this film 5 weeks ago, because I watched it when it got released by Criterion, and I was like, yeah, I watched this really cool movie called Ghost Dog, and it was my pick, and I was like, well, I'm either going to pick Salo, Ikaru, or Ghost Dog, one of the three. And I was like,
to pick Salo.
Nobody wants to watch Salo. I didn't want to watch Salo. I just want to do it because I can't be the only one that has to watch that piece of shit. I say it's a piece of shit, but it's well made. It's just fucking gross. But and I was like, Ikaru is supposed to be a sad Japanese movie. I don't really want to watch a sad movie. I'm gonna watch a fucking good movie about this big black man, hitman, following the fucking way of the samurai and being cool.
Yeah, it was low key, pretty cool. Basically, it was about this. It's weird because you have the Russian mob.
No, it's like
mafia?
the
Italian mob. No, I know they weren't Russian. Sorry, Italian mob, mafia. Who knows? I don't know what the terminology is.
The old Italian men who thought they were gangbangers.
Yeah, and it's weird. So you have the Italian mob, and then you have this. You have Forrest Whitaker, who's just like a hitman for them, for one of the dudes, for one of the heads of the mobster place. Louis, exactly. But then the Forrest Whitaker's character follows the Way of the Samurai, a book he found. Or he has somehow.
Hakaguru or something like that. Yeah. I have that book all the quotes he reads from that movie in the Criterion release.
Oh, that's cool.
He's got a little book. It's maybe fucking 5 inches long, something like that. It's really small,
right?
And it folds out and has all the quotes from the movie.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, so basically he takes you out the movie following the Way of the Samurai, and it pretty much just turns into John Wick. Let's be honest, but
it's like a tame version of John Wick. It's not as good as John Wick, but it's there. It's He's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, I feel like if you ate a Jolly Rancher and that was John Wick, and then you just ate like a Now and Later right afterwards.
I just like how chill he is and like everything he does. He's just like going down there. The guy's like rapping in the bathroom. He's just sitting down there like, "Yep, I'm gonna kill this fool."
I'll tell you right now though, the first 5 minutes of this movie,
so long.
No, not even long. Oh well, past like the birds flying. There was like it's like a slow intro, but with the first quote he said, I knew what the ending of the movie was gonna be, and it happened. And I was like, "Yep, that's the ending."
Dude, I didn't know that ending, and then he was like, at the end, he was doing it. I was like, "Yeah."
I think the reason I thought of that because I just got done playing a crap ton of Ghost of Tsushima.
You're like, of course, yeah, it's gonna happen.
So I'm like, oh, I'm well versed in samurai right now. Probably not as much as like an actual person who studies samurai, but whatever. But I know like a lot. I've just been in
You've ingrained their culture.
Exactly. I've been like soaking in Jin Sakai, the Ghost of Tsushima, for the past few weeks here. So I definitely got a little bit of that taste in there. So when he had that first quote, I'm like, oh, I know where this film's going.
Oh, I know. I'm over there like, I watched the whole thing, got to the last like 10 minutes, and was like, hold the fuck up.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I'm glad I watched it. It was cool. To me, it was weird to see Forrest Whitaker young.
Isn't it though? His like dreads and shit. And he's just like walking around, and everyone's like, "What's up, ghost dog?" And he's like, "Yeah."
I love how the mafia guys were always constantly asking, like, "Where's the ghost? Where's this ghost dog that we're looking for?" And everybody just calls him that in the hood.
We're watching it in the group, and the first time I watched it, I didn't pick this up. But like when we were watching it in the group, I was like, "Dude, he'd be like the easiest fucking dude to find."
He's like, "Where is this dude? Where can I find him?"
Go down to like the park and look at the ice cream man and be like, "Ghost dog." He'd be like, "Oh yeah, the big man, yeah." he's over on the roof, and he'd be like, "Cool, thanks, weirdo."
I love how the ice cream dude that didn't speak English, they
didn't understand each other, but they were best friends.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
Friendship transcends language.
Yep, exactly. I mean, I think that's just because that dude didn't have any other friends, but whatever.
Dude, I just love how every single time they like talked, he's like, "Oh, I bet you got some business to go take care of." He's like, "Yeah, man, I got some business to go take care of." And everyone's just sitting there is like, dude, like, oh, so he knows it. He just doesn't know that he knows it. It's like, no,
that's true.
He doesn't know it. He's just guessing. He has no clue.
It's just the patterns of things that happen, you know?
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, thanks, Bryce, for definitely picking that. It was
You're
fun,
welcome.
Fun
I really enjoyed it.
Exactly.
I really liked watching it. It was fun.
Well, with that down, let's move on to our Filmverse feature.
Guess what? I get to pick another one. Woo!
Each week, we pick a movie that we want the other person to see. And this week, I chose the DreamWorks animation picture, The Road to El Dorado.
I got a little ahead of myself. I thought we were announcing the feature. I was like, oh, let's go.
Like, no, Bryce.
You're like, we haven't even talked about this yet. Calm down. I'm like, oh, I know what to pick. I know.
Like, I know what to pick. But, so I chose The Road to El Dorado just because I was like, what else do I choose? No.
What do I pick?
What do I pick? I forgot to choose, and I was like, Road to El Dorado. It was a fun. It held up to my expectations. I mean, it didn't really nothing new jumped out to me really. I mean, it all seemed sort of like what I usually expected from it. So, Bryce,
classic DreamWorks.
Yeah, classic DreamWorks. I mean, there's not much more. I think that being older added to it to watch. I don't.
No, I was like, because I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I was like, all right, cool. Then we were watching it, and I was like, some of these jokes are really fucking sexually innuendos.
Oh, I knew that when I was a kid.
It's like you're watching. He's like gets up and her hair's all messed up, and he's like gets up like, ooh, and it's like, dude, she was definitely doing something.
Yeah, that was. It was almost to the point where it's like almost overtly sexual. Like you can't like as a kid.
Like,
as a kid, I
knew.
As a kid, I knew that he was doing. I mean, not that he was having sex with like something.
You're like, they're making out.
I was like, something's going on with them right now. I know that for a fact. And he's betraying his friend's trust.
I know.
Otherwise, yeah, it was good. It was a good film as it is. The Road to El Dorado.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it was simple. Two guys find a map to El Dorado. Well, they don't find. They steal a map from to El Dorado. Get on a boat with Hector Cortez and get off, and then
they won the map though because they actually used the dice that weren't loaded that time.
They only got there because they were using the loaded dice.
I know. I find it funny that they got to the island on accident.
They're like, oh, we're gonna die. Oh shit, we're here.
Like just imagine if they didn't get on that boat. And then they just
died in the ocean.
No. They didn't get in the boat in the first place. Like they just got out of that situation without getting hurt, and they just had the map. And they're like, "Okay, where do we start?" And I don't fucking know.
Yeah, it was good. It was good development. I really liked how when they got there, like they seemed like the chief and the priest dude. He was like, "They're not gods, but we're gonna pretend." But they never really like overtly like say they know, but like you kind of infer that they know.
It's weird because I thought that I think the chief knew all along, but I don't think that
He's
God
like,
did it.
y'all are fucking dumb.
I think he actually thought they were gods at first because the point where he saw him bleed, I'm like, okay, he's not actually a god.
Well, I mean, the priest did that, but I feel like the chief was just like
The chief
chilling around the whole time. He's just like, yeah, sure, you guys are gods, sure. And then he was like, you could stay. And he's like, really? He's like, yeah, you can stay.
Also, another thing, who was that chick? Like, who even was she? Just a
She's
random
some
villager.
random woman. She's like, I want to appease the god. They're like, chill.
She's like, actually, I just went on your scam, guys.
It's like, can I have some gold?
Let me just yeet out of this place with you. I hate these bitches.
No, I found the final. I want to put climactic. The climactic thing with Hector Cortez to be very anticlimactic.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, the road to El Dorado was about the ending of El Dorado.
I get it. I mean, like Hector Cortez in like history sense, like he never found the road to El Dorado, so it makes sense. But I'm also like,
Oh yeah, because he going down and he's like, I don't see it.
Yeah, it just ends there, and I'm like, all right, cool, I guess.
Well, sweet man. So you have a film.
Although that gold on the final scene with the boat, holy fuck.
Oh right.
I was like, do you think they just got lazy at this point, or did they just like, yeah, it'll work, no one will notice?
Well, I guess another thing we did notice is that the Miguel's actor, the blonde dude's actor, who is actually Lockhart, who plays him. Well,
He's
not
in
Lockhart.
everything we watch. You notice that?
I know. He's starting like that.
We'll be like watching them, and like, that's Lockhart. You're like, the fuck, no way. And I'm like, yeah, that's fucking Lockhart. It says right here in Letterboxd.
But his like accent kept slipping in and out.
Dude, it was so inconsistent. He would be like British in 1 second, and then he tried to do like a Spanish accent in the next, and then he started blending the two together, and we were just like, all right, cool.
You're like, oh, okay, this is what this is now.
At least the guy who played what's his name, the black haired guy, he was consistent for the most part.
It was like Julio or something like that.
Tulio,
yeah.
Tulio and Miguel.
I'm Miguel and I'm Tulio, and together we're Miguel and Tulio.
You're like, yeah, this is like if I was like, yeah, I'm Mytchel and this is Bryce, and together we're Mytchel and Bryce. Like, no fucking shit.
Like, it sounded cool when they said it, and then when I said like that, like, oh, that sounds fucking dumb.
You're like, that makes me sound like a loser.
All right, Bryce. So it is now your turn to pick the next Filmverse feature.
I had to check on Letterboxd if you'd seen it, because I've been recommending it to you, and like you haven't watched it, and I was like, I don't want to pick it, and then it turns out like in your spare time you just watched it without me knowing.
And I just didn't put it on Letterboxd, which is possible, but I probably not.
I picked one of my favorites.
What is your favorite?
Shaun of the Dead.
All right, sweet. Yes, I'm so excited.
I really love this film. I think like the more I watch it, the less funny it gets, but it's still like it holds up so well. It's so simple. It's such a simple premise. It's so good.
I feel like, should I watch Dawn of the Dead before I watch this?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, because I was wondering that, because that's why I haven't watched it yet, because I was like, okay, maybe I need to watch Dawn of the Dead, because
no, those are totally different franchises.
Well, I know it's totally different franchises, but as far I didn't know if I would need to understand things to watch Dawn of the Dead first.
No. Shaun of the Dead is just about this lazy worker who like ends up being in an apocalypse.
Okay, well,
I say
I'm
lazy.
excited.
He's just a very he lives a sad life.
Simon Pegg.
He lives a sad life with his best friend who's also sad. But it's funny. I really like it. It was when I was starting to get into film, it was one of the first films I actually went out and bought on DVD.
Oh wow!
Because everyone was like, "Yeah, if you like zombie movies, you need to watch, Shaun of the Dead." And I was like, "I need to go find that." And now I upgraded on a steelbook and shit because I love the film.
That is exciting.
And that means I'll only have one more film in the Cornetto trilogy to show you before you have all three in your thing.
Because I watched
The End. The World's End.
The World's End, which is a good ass film.
You were so fucking tired though. You were like,
I was, dude.
This is fucking weird. I was like, yeah, it's weird. You fucking know it's weird.
I like weird movies though.
It's like that movie was so funny because we got to the part where like the head got knocked off in the bathroom, and you were just like, "The fuck is this?" I was like, "Yeah, it's getting whack now."
Like without knowing any context of that, The World's End, it's just not okay. Because
you're like, "What the fuck is happening?" 45 minutes in, and it's like, "Yeah, shit's about to happen." Oh,
because you think it's one film, and then it just like straight up just rips your face into a new direction, and you're like, "What?" Like it's almost to the point where like, if you can't switch directions, like you would probably lose some audience.
But since you liked The World's End, and I know you like Baby Driver, who doesn't like Baby Driver?
Well, of course.
This is about the same guy. So Edgar Wright.
Oh, Edgar Wright. He was supposed to do Ant-Man, but he didn't because
he has class
his class, which Ant-Man's good.
He
but,
got handed the script for Ant-Man. He was like, I'm not touching this. I'm going to touch this with a 10-foot pole. I'm not making something called Ant-Man.
No, I think he wanted to go in a certain direction. They didn't want to go in.
Horror. They're like, no. He's like,
horror.
Guardians of the Galaxy-ish. Like, no, we already did that. He's like, what the fuck do you want me then?
He's like, well...
He's like, I can't use music. They already use music.
I'm out. I'm gonna head out.
Because he uses music in a lot of his films. Like, obviously, Baby Driver. But, like, his music always has powerful scenes. And so it's like, he was, like, offering it at me. He's like, can I do, like, music in it? They're like, no, Guardians already did that. He's like, I'm not doing then. Fuck that.
I would have loved to see an Ant-Man with music in it. That'd be cool.
Well, there is the rave. The rave scene where he's going microscopic and falling down the floor.
Oh, yeah, you're right. No, I mean, like, whatever.
You're like, that doesn't fucking count, guys. That's not music.
Sweet. Well, thank you guys for joining us as we talked movie news, shared our thoughts on Season 2, Episode 7 of The Mandalorian, plunged deep into the filmverse with A Road to El Dorado, Ghost Dog, The Way of the Samurai, and scoured the infinite cinematic universes to watch films like The Fly and Amores, Perros. New episodes come out every Friday, so be sure to follow us and turn on notifications to get updates every time we post. If you want to keep up with our activities outside the airwaves, you can stalk us on Instagram at Into the Filmverse Podcast. If you crave a convivial concoction for fun and need a Criterion buddy, then I have just the man for you. Bryce, where can people connect with you?
You can find me on Letterboxd at Payne Reviews, Payne Reviews. You can find me on Instagram at Sanguine Director and Twitter as Sanguine Films.
And you can stay connected with me, Mytchel Chandler, and my everlasting escapades on Facebook and Instagram at author Mytchel Chandler, on Twitter at Mytchel Chandler, and at Letterboxd at Mytch Reviews. And Mytch is spelled with a Y, so that's Mytch. That is all for this week, our fellow cinephiles, and until next time,
Excelsior!